Hi, thanks for tuning in to WFRE's Hometown Heroes, brought to you by Overhead Doors of Frederick. And I have got Cody Curtis, who's a Frederick County Fire Rescue firefighter. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
How long have you been a firefighter?
3 years now.
3 years?
Yep.
What was the academy like when you were going through it for Frederick County Fire and Rescue Services? Because we know the Firefighter Academy is harder than any other academy.
It was grueling at times. Every morning we would have PT for an hour, so we would work out, get our exercise in for the day, and then follow that for the rest of the day. It would just be the training that they had planned out for us 5 days a week, and it was really good.
Very nice. And firefighting isn't something new for you, not something that you've been just doing with Frederick County Fire and Rescue Services. You were in the military before. Tell us about that. And what branch? What did you do?
I was stationed on Norfolk, Virginia for 5 years in the Navy, and I was stationed to the USS Baton. It was an amphibious assault ship. It was a little bit smaller than a carrier, and on there I did aviation firefighting.
Mm-hmm.
So we would just be on the fire truck watching all the aircraft land every day, and if anything were to happen, we would have to go in there if there was a crash.
And we hope you didn't have to experience that. What was the craziest thing when you were in the Navy and you were a firefighter that you experienced?
I think on my first deployment, a Harrier jet has 3 landing gear, 1 on the front and 2 on the sides. When he took off, the nose landing gear wouldn't come back out. So we had to set out an adapter. It was like a concave adapter for him to perfectly land the aircraft on and land the nose on it. And if you were to, mess up or crash, that wouldn't have been good. But so we're all just sitting there like watching on the fire truck already because we thought it was going to go sideways. But then he landed it perfectly. So It was a little nerve-wracking.
You know what? God bless you for the good work that you did with that. Did you ever see that video where there's a Toyota pickup truck and there's a plane coming in for a landing at an airport, and the truck went and got in front of it, the airplane landed on the nose on the back of the truck?
I did not see that video now.
Okay. I don't know if it's real or AI, but I'm really hoping it wasn't AI because that was some cool stuff.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, you should. And as far as being a firefighter here in Frederick County, what's the craziest call you've ever been on besides like cats? Do you ever get called to get a cat out of a tree or maybe
I haven't yet.
A dog out of a storm drain?
Not yet, despite that stereotype. No, not yet. Craziest, maybe like a barn on fire, or we had a car crash one time, and it was an older gentleman, probably in like his 60s or 70s, and his car was turned sideways. He rolled it over. But when we got there, he was standing upright in the car with his head just popped out the window.
Like a Jack in the Box?
Yeah. And he was completely fine. And it was just kind of comical because you think car crashes could be so bad, even if they roll their car, and sometimes they're just perfectly fine. And he's just standing there waiting to be pulled out of the vehicle. So it was kind of funny and relieving that he was all right.
Well, thank heavens he was. And you do God's work when you go out and you are saving lives. Truly you are. Does it ever frustrate you to know that people maybe aren't checking their smoke detectors like they should? And what's the general rule? Every 5 years, put new batteries in? Around
that, yeah. It's always good to make sure that the batteries are good. Test them when you record. Make sure that you have them on multiple levels if you have a multi-story. I can see how it could be easily overlooked and forgotten about, but it is very good to keep up with them because it could make a difference.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of young people who think, I want to go into a career of service and maybe be a firefighter. How could you encourage them to go into this line of work? Because truly, physically, mentally, emotionally demanding.
Physically prepare. Definitely physically prepare. Go to the gym, exercise, run, do all those things that are really good. And also learn about the job prior. It's a small window every year that they have the application process for every county. So you got to make sure you just kind of keep up with it, updates to when you can apply, physically train, maybe do some studying on your own, even though you do go to that academy. Just being prepared prior just makes it a lot smoother and a lot easier. That way it's not such a shock to you.
And 2 more questions. First of all, when you go through the academy, do they give you culinary classes? Because are you literally cooking when you're at the fire station, or are you doing like DoorDash, Uber Eats?
We're cooking usually every shift. Unless somebody grabs like a microwavable, but yeah, we're cooking every shift. No culinary classes.
Okay.
So you just kind of learn as you go. There's definitely guys there that have been in a while, and they can make some pretty good meals. So you just learn from them. and just do the best you can with cooking. If you do a bad job, you'll hear about it.
Okay. And also the mustaches, is that required
No.
for Frederick County Fire and Rescue Services? I wasn't sure because I know a lot of firefighters do have that.
Yeah, we can't have a beard. So
Okay.
this kind of just makes up for that difference. So we are allowed the mustache within certain standards, but we do need to make sure we're nice and clean and shaved. So to make up for it, we just grow a mustache.
Yeah, and not the beard. Well, thank you so much, Cody,
Of
for
course.
doing Hometown Heroes with us today, brought to you by Overhead Doors of Frederick. I wish you the best of luck in your career, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for being a first responder and taking care of our community.
Of course.